right, man. Wrapping up. Still got another hour to go. Stay with us here. Riley's sitting in. I want to talk about what you think are the expectations for Utah State, BYU, and Utah. We'll start with your Aggies. Do the Aggies have any first-team All-Packers?
He's a first-team All-Whacker.
Oh, really? Did you guys set that up?
Maybe.
I think you did.
Never.
Do they have any first-team All-Packers?
I think you set that up. I think there's been
He's a first-team
conversations.
All-Whacker.
There's been conversations.
Come on, who's going to be a first-team
Who is that guy
All-Packer?
that keeps saying that garbage? Who is that guy?
He's a first-team All-Whacker.
Ow.
That's going to go on your tombstone.
True words have never been spoken.
So with that in mind, what type of talent do they have to compete in the Pac-12 this year?
Well, here's the good news. With Bronco there, love Bronco or hate Bronco, he has always established really clear expectations as to what he wants from his players. And that's one of the things that I really admire about Bronco. Even when he was the defensive coordinator at Snow College in 1992, when I was playing at Snow College, he was the D coordinator. Mm-hmm. The expectations were always clear. It's just been part of the magic of his coaching is that there's never a question of what he expects out of you. So in your second year, you start to really, really like hone that in with the players, and they start to embrace it. Uh-huh. Now, you may not like the way he presents it. You may not like the way it goes, but it comes back. And did you notice that Eric Kerr this morning talked about authenticity again?
It caught my ear. Yes,
right.
It did.
Like, this is what I like, because you can be authentic and be Eric Kerr. You can be authentic and be Bronco Mendenhall, or you can be authentic and be Kyle Whittingham, or you can be authentic and be Morgan Scalley. And Kalani is very authentic. That's why they're good coaches, because they coach hard, but they're also true to who they are. So that's what I love about Bronco. I think McKay Hillstead, I think he's a great talent, and I think he fits in with the mentality of Utah State. A little bit of a chip on your shoulder. He transferred down to BYU. He's now back at Utah State. It's a chip on your shoulder mentality. He's also very talented. He's a very good quarterback, and I like the pieces that they're starting to put together. I mean, you know Jan Jorgensen. He's always been a friend of the program and a friend of us.
Good dude.
I've talked to him quite a bit. He's much more excited about this season than last season, because it takes a minute.
Yeah,
I mean, you can't just turn a program around in a year. There are going to be consistently good football teams at Utah State for years to come.
Cool.
And you know what my best indicator of that is?
What?
Is that Bronco moved all of his horses and all of that stuff from his ranch in Montana
down
to Wellsville. He doesn't have plans on leaving.
Said the people at New Mexico.
I don't think he's leaving. He didn't bring all his horses down to New Mexico.
No. Well, I don't think New Mexico has horses, though.
They don't? What do they have? Chupacabras? What's the name of that little raccoon that's like deformed?
Jimothy.
Jimothy's from New Mexico, isn't he?
Have you seen the Jimothy thing, PK?
Have you seen it?
No.
Dude, there's this raccoon. There's a raccoon that, like, for some reason,
it looks like an alien.
He's born with a deformity. He has these huge, long legs and this really short, compact body.
Completely opposite of what an actual raccoon looks like.
And he's got this big face. I mean, they even have videos of, like, when he was a baby and the mom's being all, like, helping him out because he's, like, just he has, like, a deformity. And he does, like, the first time I saw it, I thought he was a chupacabra.
No, everybody was like, what is that?
It's crazy.
So you're making fun of physically deformed creatures?
Just animals.
Okay, I just want to see where you guys are coming from.
We don't make fun of you.
I just want to see. Well, some people. Well, no, I'll just leave that alone.
I see where you're going there. I see what you did there.
So
anyway, so there's no horses in New Mexico. We've established. Just
right,
Jimothy.
he moved his horses. Oh, well, he's over 60 now, so you'd have to think that this would be it. And Logan suits him. That's the kind of town you'd think he would.
I think it really does suit him. I mean, when he coached, he always had this stern. When he was the defense coordinator at Snow College when I was there, he always had this stern, like, kind of look to him.
Serious.
And feel like I wouldn't have messed with him. Like that guy that was up talking in his face. Like I was like, well, that was a career. That was just a bad career choice from the very beginning because I don't think anybody wants to fight Bronco. I mean, that dude is named Bronco for a reason. Like you don't want to fight Bronco, but he fits into the Utah State persona better than anywhere to me that he's been.
I can see that. Knowing what I know of him, I was a beat writer, covered him all those years.
He's just hard nosed. Very very disciplined. A very pragmatic approach to everything that he does. So I love the fit. And I think Bronco's a fantastic coach.
Are they bowling this year?
Yes.
Okay, there it is. Utah State in a bowl game. And
No question.
hopefully for them, it's not the New Mexico game because he couldn't ride his horses on the off day.
Well, you don't want to go to New Mexico if you're Bronco at all. He might not ever go there again in his life.
I wouldn't be surprised. They don't like him down there.
Yeah.
All right. Utah.
But New Mexico just wants an excuse to hate Utah State anyway. There's a healthy little rivalry there.
Yeah, and it's going to be done because they're staying behind, right?
Yep.
Two words. Bowl eligible.
Better not use that in Michigan.
Well, I'm just saying this for Utah State. You can.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, well, once they get to 6, we got to play that on that following Monday. Utah, quietly thinking maybe not quietly, that playoff is a possibility.
You think that? The people think that?
I think they think that. I would say probably not.
I feel like that's just a little bit of a stretch. But I don't know why I'm chomping at the bit for the Morgan Scally tenure at the University of Utah. I think it's going to be very good, and I think it's going to have a different feel than it's had under Kyle, which is not a bad thing. It's just different. Like, different doesn't always have to be bad. It's just different. It will be different. There will be a different fingerprint on this program. Not from the standpoint of, like, toughness and playing hard-nosed football, but Morgan just has a personality that's willing to get out there and get ahead of things, and I think it's going to be a little bit more fun. I think you're going to feel the fun come back to the Utah program.
Yeah.
It's always fun to win.
As Majerus would say, fun is winning.
Well, and I think Morgan is going to win. I do think they're a year away from competing for the Big 12 championship and playoff spots. They just lost too much.
Yeah,
they lost a lot of coaches too. Like
they did, yeah.
And Morgan is well connected. He knows a lot of coaches. I trust him implicitly to be able to hire the coaches that he needs. They also lost some key players that went to Michigan. He's got a plug, and he's got to play with some guys. But he's going to rebuild that depth and rebuild that program. And I shouldn't even say reload that program. But I think it's a year away from what everybody is expecting.
But still, minimum 8.
Yeah. I would say 9 wins.
Yeah. I can see that.
Like, I don't know how the under-over works, but you set it at 8.5.
Yeah.
Would you take the over or the under?
I'm inclined to say over.
Yeah, I am too. I think they can win 9
if
games.
Dampier stays upright.
Fair enough.
If he's healthy.
Yeah, but Ficklen's pretty good too.
Yeah, I'm not so sold on him. I mean, as a runner and a dynamic athlete, yeah, I want to see him lead a team in the pocket, getting the ball downfield, because that's the way you have to do it.
Well, I think there's also a real big difference between coming in a couple of games and making a couple of big runs and making a couple of nice throws,
right.
and then having a defensive coordinator plan for you all week.
Yes.
There's a
I
big
haven't
difference.
seen it. It's nothing against him. It's just that I haven't seen it.
Exactly. And it's like Kerr said, like, this new I can't even remember what it's called that they all have access to. Like you can get every game for like the last 3 years from every single team from like Division II through the NFL on the program that they have. There's no hiding.
Right.
And everybody has access to it. So it's not like so if and when Ficklin gets a chance to play, like they're going to have so much film on him. It's different to have a defense coordinator actually planning for you than coming in and like making a couple plays because you fit a little bit different in that offense. And like you said, I'm not being critical of Ficklin, but I don't think we've seen enough to say he's really, really, really good.
He's a dynamic athlete. We know
I
that.
will tell you that Dampier is a really, really good quarterback, and especially, we were all critical of like his arm strength and there are a couple of limitations there, but he's overcome them very well, and he knows how to lead a football team.
Oh yeah, he's a great leader. He's charismatic.
I think part of the reason why Ficklin stayed is because they're buddies. Believe it or not.
I think he's the best leader at quarterback that they've had since Brian Johnson.
You don't think Cam Rising was a good leader?
Yes, I do.
And you think he's better than Cam Rising?
Now that's biased because I think he's a better interview, but Rising was very good. Rising was a baller.
Yeah, and
he gave you everything he had.
When we talk about leadership, we're talking about like getting the most out of the guys around you. To me, I mean, I put him up there with Rising. I think Rising is probably
I'm fine with that.
The best. But you know what though? I'll say this: Dampier might overtake him this year if he has another season like he did last year.
He's just a smaller dude. He's got to stay healthy. Of course, Cam was bigger and was hurt all the time. Unfortunately,
right?
Cam had the best. Great, tragic football career in Utah history.
And without that late interception at Florida, I think his senior year? Well, we don't know what his senior year was like, but that tragic interception at the very end, like I think he would have gone down as one of the all-time greats if they get that win.
He was a winner.
Yep.
I loved the way he balled and laid it out there at all times.
I think it was Kyle's favorite quarterback.
Might be. Run through a wall.
He just loved his leadership.
Yeah.
It's the only quarterback that I've seen that Kyle kind of let him be a little bit of a gunslinger. All the other quarterbacks, he didn't really let him.
Yeah, but that's all in context. He only had 2 300-yard passing games. I think it was only 2, and both of them were against the crappy USC defense.
It's just fun to beat USC.
It is. But when we say cut loose, that's Kyle's version of cut loose.
Right. Fair enough.
Yeah. And so
Morgan
has
just felt like they
more.
threw more.
He's intimated that we will see more. He's led us to the water, and now we'll see if we can drink it. He's told us that we're going to see more.
I think that you will naturally see more because I don't think that I think that Morgan is a little bit more collaborative in approach. Like, hey, he may every once in a while get on the phone and go, hey, Kevin, why are we doing this? What is your thought process? Let me know your thought process on what we're doing right now. And and if
Kyle didn't do that?
No. Run the ball.
What did he say one time to Troy Taylor up in the press box?
I don't know. I don't know what the words were.
That is what they call NSFW, sir.
Which button do I push here if we say that out loud?
No. There's this thing right here. You see this big red button?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't want to push that today.
I'm just saying, if we say what was said, that button will be
Do you know what was said? You do.
No, I don't.
You were told.
Here's what I'll say.
You told me.
Here's what I'll say. I understand the meaning of what was said.
A safe way to.
I just, and look, I think early in Kyle's career, I was a little bit critical of that. That made me really, really frustrated because I love offense and I love seeing good offense. And then it's been really weird because I've come around to Kyle. One of the things that I really respect about Kyle is he knows enough about the history of college football and the history of coaches getting fired and all that kind of stuff that he knew that if the ship ever went down, he wanted to know that it was because of the decisions that he made, not the decisions that somebody else made.
Yeah.
It was his ship. And if the ship went down, he was okay with the ship going down because it was his decision. And if the ship was sailing and doing some amazing things, that was also because of his decisions.
Yeah, the winningest coach in Utah football history.
You can't argue with that. And although he thinks all quarterbacks are prima donnas, and he thinks that even me, and even though he thinks that passing the ball, what's the old phrase, like three things can happen when you throw the ball, and 2 out of 3 are bad.
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of his attitude. That's his prerogative as the head coach. I feel like that's his prerogative. And so I've come around as a defender of him rather than a critic of the way he ran his program.
BYU, do they make the playoff or not? Yes. Yes.
I don't know.
No, he backed off in 2 seconds. Must be something about being in that chair.
No. BYU is very good. I'm concerned about the wide receiver room.
Fair?
They gotta have a dynamic person there. Obviously, LJ is good. Obviously, there's continuity on the offense. People go, well, all they did was like really run the ball last year anyway, but that was because I felt like there were some limitations with Bear. But he also had two really, really good receivers that like made clutch plays that made.
Kingston had 950 yards receiving, didn't he?
Yeah, and then Chase was just clutch on making big catches, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So if they
Carson Ryan had 600. They threw the ball.
If they use that same formula, who's Carson Ryan, who is Parker Kingston, and who is Chase Roberts in that offense? Well, I think
they got the Carson Ryan opportunities there, but we're unknown on the receivers. I mean, they have to acknowledge that, and it's up to the individuals
and I'm not saying
step up.
I'm not saying that some of those guys can't step up. Yeah, I'm just looking at it going, which one does?
I mean, it's like Ficklin. We haven't
does.
seen it, so we have a little apprehension. Receiver-wise, they got some size. Who's it going to be? The coaches can only put him in the position, but the individual has to go do it.
Right.
Who's it going to be?
I don't think the coaches necessarily thought Parker Kingston was going to be what Parker Kingston was.
Right.
But he just kept making plays, and then they build confidence, and then all of a sudden you're off and running. So it doesn't mean that it can't. It doesn't mean that it can't happen with this group. I just have no idea. And I'll tell you who would have a better idea is the players in the locker room. They're like, hey, dude, this guy is freaking legit, and he's going to make plays for us. And this guy's legit. But I don't know that I'm hearing a lot of that. At least not enough smoke to make me think there's a fire there. And then now flipping to BYU defensively, I am a huge Poppinga fan. I really like him. I do think there is some nuance to calling defense, and I do think that there's a little bit of a step back defensively before it gets really good. And so, as we're thinking out loud.
Yeah, they got Arizona week 2.
And we're thinking out loud. I mean, he's going to be tested, and people are going to be a little bit more brazen in their approach than they were with Jay, because I think people had a real healthy respect for Jay.
Oh, yeah.
So
Long track record.
People are going to test Poppinga early and often. Oh, you think you can do that? Do you know what the adjustment is to that? Can you actually adjust to, if you're going to bring the heat, that I've got this little smoke screen that's going to hurt you? Can you really adjust to that? Do you know how to mix it up on me enough that I have to worry and be on my toes a little bit? So I think Poppinga is capable of doing that? Yes. But to be a really nuanced and great defensive coordinator, I think it takes a little bit of refinement. And Jay had that luxury while he was at Weber State University to kind of refine what he thought.
Which he tells you.
Right. He told us in our interview.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so Brady's going to be learning on the run. There's going to be some things. There's going to be some
Kelly, but yeah.
Sorry, Kelly. Yeah. There's going to be some heartburn for BYU fans every once in a while defensively.
Well, they got Arizona week 2, man.
It's not going to be perfect.
And you got a great passer.
It's not going to be perfect. You're going to feel some heartburn, but I do think he's up to the task. Okay. And I do think they have the athletes there. And give credit to BYU. Some of their best recruiting last year took place when Jay left on keeping the majority of their players.
No question.
That was a huge deal. That they didn't lose a bunch of those guys.
Right. Yeah.
Because a bunch of those guys could have gone with Jay.
Like they did at Utah.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
So I'm excited to see what happens. Coach Papinga is going to have an opportunity to really, really show what he's learned in his 20-year tenure as a coach.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that he can't do it. I'm just saying that it's nuanced. Like being the play caller is a little bit nuanced.
Understood. Until you've done it. Okay, there you go. That's a recap of the 3 teams in the state of Utah. From Riley Jensen, our first team all-performer.
He's a first team all whacker.
Yes, he is.
Stay with us. We'll recap what we've been talking about this morning in 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
3, 2, 1. This is Scotty G and Coach Tim LeCombe.
SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey, as he kicked off and the SEC kicked off their football media day, said that he is not happy whatsoever with what's going on in terms of the Protect College Sports Act. He has had conversations. The conversations about them tearing away from the rest of college athletics is real.
You know, college football, it's ironic that they're against the Save College Football Act. They don't want to be governed. I mean, that's what I keep hearing. The SEC, the Big Ten, they're the ones that keep dragging their feet. Everybody else wants to get this done, but because they feel like they are better than everybody else, they should get a better deal.
I really can't stand this guy. I really, there are certain people out there that are just hell-bent on wrecking things that don't need to be wrecked.
Catch Scotty G and Coach weekdays from 10 to 2. Presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Slacker Radio headlines are brought to you by Trajan Wealth. Call Trajan Wealth today, your local trusted financial fiduciary. Call them at 1-855-Trajan1. 1-855-Trajan1. You spell Trajan, Trajan. Or you can visit them at their website, TrajanWealth.com. All right, talked a lot of college football today. Weber starting their season 4 weeks from today. It seems like it gets you here fast, but as a player, Riley, how long is the month of August?
Dude, it's so long. And I think it's actually, it probably feels longer to the players. My son was asking me about the 1900s when I played football.
The 1900s. Sounds a long time ago.
He gives me so much gas. He's like, dude, what do you know about football, Dad? You played in the 1900s.
The 1900s.
Anyway, we were talking about how long, how many, with John L. Smith, this is kind of a funny story. John L. Smith, fall of 1997, we went 22 days in a row of two-a-days. 22 days in a row. We didn't take one day off. And after the first Sunday, Wanga Damuni works up at Utah State right now. He went in with a couple other guys to coach. He's like, Coach, can we maybe just take Sundays off? Maybe some of us could go to church. And John L. Smith goes, hey, God loves football too. That was his answer. So we went 22 days in a row of two-a-days. So we were, practicing 8 to 10 in the morning, and then, they didn't have a lot of appreciation for water and breaks and all that kind of stuff.
Especially back then.
And then it'd be 3 to 5 in the afternoon, in the full heat.
Oh, yeah.
The full heat. And then John L. always had it. He always had it in his mind that we should condition in the middle of practice instead of the end, because then it teaches you how to play tired. Yeah. So we would go through half a practice, and he's like, all right, line it up. 10, 18 100s. That's what we're running today. And then he always got some guy counting down. Only 17 more to go, guys. We got this. I'm like, shut up. I'm just running. I'm not even counting. I'm just running. But I do think that, it's only 4 weeks away, and I think it's a little bit longer for the modern day player, because I can't tell you how boring meetings get when you can only go once a day. Because they do keep them there and go through film and meetings all day, and all that kind of stuff. So it's I almost think that would be longer.
As opposed to out there practicing.
Yeah, I'd rather be out there
not looking at your watch.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and probably for these guys, getting away from their phone for
And I was going to say
3
the phone.
hours.
Yeah, the phone is right there. You pick it up and away you go.
So
Yeah.
it's a long time. It'll feel like nothing for us because I don't know how you feel about it as a 60-year-old, but man, the older I get, like time just speeds by. Like a summer when I was in high school felt like it was a year and a half long. And now it feels like it goes in like 2 weeks. Oh, the summer's over? Like, why does that happen?
August 1st tomorrow.
I don't understand that.
When I was a beat writer here locally and at other places, the first 10 days of August were fun. And in those days, you can go the entire time to practice.
Just sit in the practice.
Yeah, and you can get a feel for what's going on, and you hear stuff. You got to know. You had to know what was acceptable to report on, and I understand things are closed these days because you got all this other media that didn't exist back then, and it's just easier rather than trying to keep a hold of it and track of it, just to shut it down. And then when you find 5 programs shut it down, well, the 6th is, we got to shut it down too. And so away you go. So I would think now as a beat writer, that's got to be torturous. I thought that I enjoyed it in the beginning because there was a lot of stories. But then when you got 2 weeks in, it's like, can we get to a game? Right. I mean, you've seen everything that you need to see.
All the players feel the same way, though.
Right. And the positions, they talk about a quarterback battle. They know. After 2 weeks, they know.
Oh, totally know.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, I don't even think it takes 2 weeks.
Right. I'm going to
I
extreme.
think it takes a week.
Yeah.
And that's if you really, if you go into the quarterback competition and you really don't have an idea. Like, you're like,
Which
man,
I think
these
that
guys
is
are
rare anyway.
I do too. That's what I'm saying. So, but even when you're like, oh man, these guys are pretty, I got to find out, after a week. I think you know after a week.
Right.
Now, when you go into it and it's like, I think this one's a little bit better, you'll confirm that within 3 days. Now, you might not tell, you might tell the media, like, oh, we don't know.
Right.
And you want to keep the second. Nowadays, you got to keep the second string quarterback happy so he doesn't leave.
Yeah, understood. Right. And I think also, too, you want the team to see it. Because then it becomes an easy decision once you announce it.
That might be the most observant thing that you've said the whole week.
I would say my whole life.
Maybe.
Outside of you're an idiot.
I'm not kidding you. Like, there is some real truth to, like, I don't want to use that analogy, but like,
go to another one.
Well, I'm trying to think of another one, but like, you don't. If you give a team long enough, they know. Like, they know, and actually, the second string guy knows.
Well, he's part of the team, yeah.
Well, yeah, it makes it pretty obvious to him, even like, I didn't win that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do. I know exactly what you mean.
I think that's totally true because that can give you some credibility as a coach too. Like, yeah, we're doing this, but you need to see what we see.
Yeah. Right. And then
now the coaches may pick it up faster than the team.
I think they usually do.
But the team is also pretty quick and astute at picking out like who the best quarterback is.
Yeah.
You know what used to happen to me? This is how I knew I was in the running. Receivers would start trading places. The good receivers were like, "No, get back."
Oh, so they jump in. Yeah.
I want to be with Riley because I don't want to waste a rep on
somebody's not gonna play.
Third string guy.
Yeah.
Fourth string guy.
Yeah.
Then that's almost how I knew every time I was going to win the job. Is like the main guys would start subbing in ahead. I'm like, oh, okay, things are going well.
I think they knew going into camp last year that it was going to be Bear. And they anticipated that it was going. Maybe they didn't know, but they anticipated. And as long as they threw stuff at him and he picked it up, he was going to be the guy.
I don't think it took long for them to know.
Right.
Unfortunately, I think BYU is hoping that battle would have been closer, and it wasn't close.
Well, it turned out okay.
No, I mean as far as like the battle between McKay and Bear.
Right, but it still turned out okay.
No, it turned out fine. I think they wanted it to be more close. Like, I think they were hoping that maybe they could call it even and start McKay for 3-4 games and let Bear learn and then move Bear into the starting. But it turned out just fine. But I think they were surprised when it wasn't close.
Okay. But yeah, that gives you confidence for Hillstead in Logan.
Yeah, I think, dude, he's a competitor. He's a competitor, and he's put a lot of work into his craft. I don't know exactly what happened at BYU. I liked him when he played at Utah State before. Like, I thought he came in and did some good things. Now, the problem with McKay, and it's always going to be the criticism, he's probably sick and tired of hearing it. It's the same thing that you said about Dampier earlier. It's got to stay healthy.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to stay healthy.
Yeah.
And he didn't at Utah State. Like, he had a bad wheel. He had a bad ankle. And he had a bad ankle in high school.
Uh-huh.
You know?
Yeah.
So he's got to stay healthy. But he's a competitor. I mean, if I were to compare him to like former quarterbacks in the past, he reminds me a lot.
Nelson?
Yeah. A lot like him.
Tough guy.
Yeah. Wants to win like
Yeah.
you can't believe.
Maybe not the highest skilled guy, but whatever he's got, he's giving you.
Yes.
You got no worries about that.
That's the exact comp to me.
Yeah. Okay. I can see that. Yeah.
Riley, I'll tell you this. Anybody can judge Riley for what he was. He's the best high school quarterback I've ever seen.
Ooh.
The most polished. The only guy that might have taken that over recently is Jackson Dart. I mean, Jackson Dart's like statistics were video game numbers. It was like 67 touchdowns and 3 picks. I mean, it was. But Riley Nelson, I think the hard part about recruiting a guy like Riley Nelson nowadays is like, okay, so has he already reached his ceiling? Like, is that as good as he can get? Whereas maybe there's other quarterbacks that weren't nearly as good as him in high school that you can see a lot of upside on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think that was. I honestly think Riley had the best touch, the most unbelievable high school career I'd ever seen. He was unbelievable in high school. With Coach Favero, they just named the field at Logan High off of after Coach Favero, who also had the Washington State quarterback. What's his name? Out of Logan High.
Oh, Falk?
Yeah, Luke Falk.
Yeah.
I mean, he coached so many good quarterbacks up there. But Riley, man, when I watched, I was like, dude, this guy has command of the game. He knows where the ball's going. He gets it out on time. He was the best. In high school, he was the best athlete on the field. But he knew when to use his feet and when he really had to do like a 3-step drop and just drill it in there. I mean, he was phenomenal in high school.
As they tend to be.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to play Division I football and you're a quarterback, when the college coach shows up to the field and he sees 4 plays, he needs to know you're the best player on the field right now.
And I think you usually do that.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you want, that's what I'm saying. If you're a true Division I quarterback, when you show up and you watch a player and you're watching a quarterback, you're like, oh yeah, this guy has the swagger. He has the chutzpah. He had, like, you can just tell that he can play Division I
So Dart
football.
going to blow up this year?
I think he is. He's got to stay healthy, though. And I don't think it's his mentality. I don't think he can stop himself from running. He's got a little bit of Baker Mayfield in him that way, where he just tries to run and run people over a little bit, and it's just too much. And Gruden warned him about it when he did that little like quarterback thing. He's like, dude, you gotta protect yourself. And everybody's telling him and that, and I don't
think he can.
I don't think it's in his DNA.
But it will be.
If you knew his dad, Brandon, like, it's just not in their DNA.
Yeah.
They are full bore all the time.
Right. But he didn't play NFL football where guys on the other side are trying to take your head off.
Brandon would have if he hadn't got hurt 6 times at the University of Utah.
Sure, but he wouldn't have been a quarterback. And he wouldn't have had 11 guys trying to knock him out.
Right.
And so I think Dart will have enough sense to know this is in my best interest. It goes against...
He's a stubborn sucker, dude, and that's what makes him so great.
But he'd have to be dumb. And I don't think he is. It's in his best interest. It's not in his inclination and first preference, but sometimes you have to do things that aren't what you want to do, but it's the right thing to do. And I think that's where he's going to come to his senses and see, this is what I have to do in order for the team to win. And I don't think that he's going to look at it any other way. He's going to realize this must be done. Now, if the situation calls for it, so be it.
Right.
But if there's a way out.
He's got to be smart enough to do that. He just has to. I heard Phil Simms talking about him the other day, and they were asking, like, do you think he's going to? And he goes, everything that I said about Jackson Dart coming out of college, I was wrong.
In what way?
Because he was real critical.
Really?
He didn't think he had a big arm. He didn't think he was that great of a runner. And then he went through all the reasons why he was wrong. He goes, way more accurate than I thought he was going to be. He goes, he is a super accurate quarterback. And he goes, interestingly, he's a way better runner in the pros than he was at Ole Miss, right? And he went through all these reasons. And I'm like, well, Phil, it's because in the NFL they play man-to-man. If you get through the first rung of defensive line, there's nobody there. You're going to run better.
Okay.
You're going to run better. But he was very complimentary. If you talk to Eric Kerr, if you talk to Casey Sotera, who's the defense coordinator at Corner Canyon when Jackson was there,
now the head coach,
to the person, they think he's the best leader they've ever been around.
Cool.
Which bodes well for him.
Well, it does.
Because players will play hard for him.
That's the very reason why you have to play smarter. You cannot be reckless.
Yeah.
And he'll understand that. If it's his team, you must be smart and judicious and pick your spots and all that other stuff.
Can I tell a fun?
And I believe he will.
Just a quick Jackson Dart story.
Please do.
So when he was in college, I'm on the phone with him. We're talking. I can't remember what game that he did. I can't remember the game before. He had really pulled one groin on one side earlier in the season, and he was playing with it and like really kind of just like toughing it out because he's a tough guy.
Uh-huh.
The week before Alabama, I can't remember what team they played, but he's playing against this team, and he pulls the other groin just as bad. In fact, there's tears in it, right? So when I'm talking to him, I'm like, well, where are you at? What are you doing? He's like, I'm in the cold tub. I can't even walk. I'm like, you guys have Alabama this week. What are you going to do? And he goes, what do you mean, what am I going to do? And I go, how are you going to play this week? And he goes, I'm going to do what I always do. I'm going to thug it out.
Mm-hmm.
And then he played in that game, and they were within, like, they got to fourth down. They had 4 shots at the end zone at the end to win, and they didn't win it. But I was just like, and you wouldn't have known that he had these 2 groin problems like he had. I was just like, that was really tough. He's one of the tougher people that I know, and that's why when people tell me that he's going to back it down, I'm like, man, I hope he does. I hope he does. I hope you're right. I hope he's smart enough to do it. I hope all the things that you're saying.
He will.
Man, part of me just says, dude,
that's what a leader does.
He's stubborn
yeah,
about
but that
running.
was then. This is now. His eyes will be opened, and I believe they already are opened. I just hope he wins a title, wins a Super Bowl in the next 2 years so he can go to the White House.
He'd be criticized for that.
I want him right there.
Imagine, yeah.
Front and center.
Yeah. I'm sure you do. Mostly because you'll be able to talk about it for a week of sports radio.
He would be our second Utah high school player to win a Super Bowl.
Who's the first?
Jim McMahon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. All right. We'll get you some feedback, get you set up for the next show with the coach and Scotty. Stay with us, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Okay, boys and girls, we were in for a treat just about the whole week. Now, this is true. Ryan and I go at it a lot, and we have fun. But when DJ's out, I make one call, and that's all. One call only. And actually, it's just a text, and it is to Riley because I want him in because, Riley, you are an awesome human being. I cherish our friendship. I am dead serious.
Why am I feeling uncomfortable right now?
Well, this is true. This is bro love, one who I've known you many years.
All right.
And I want you in here. You're the only guy I want in. And I always go to you first because you do great radio, and it is a blast to have you in here. I appreciate you came in for 4 days this week. DJ doesn't take a lot of time off, but when he does,
I'm here for you.
It's like Dos Equis. I'm not. I don't drink a lot, but when I do, or whatever that commercial is.
Yeah.
But
Tim Lacomb's feeling a little jilted over here, by the way.
well, Lacombe has his own show now. I'm not going to be calling him. Hey, I got Lacombe the job. He owns me, man. I had to pull some strings on that puppy. So he was a long shot. And he ends up winning it. Yeah. So with that in mind, thanks for coming in this week. It has been an absolute blast. And the very next time that DJ is out, I will hit you up again because it's always fun. And plus, too, you're so dang knowledgeable about, at this time of year, most especially with football. And you can articulate it. And you've been there and you know how to speak it. You know how to speak the language that people can understand.
You're speaking my language right now. Stop it some more. Stop it some more.
You give me another 15 minutes to stop.
If you'll stop talking like this a half an hour from now, that'll be just enough.
So it has been a lot of fun this week, and we'll have you on. Obviously, we have you on when the season gets started, and we are just about 4 weeks away from actual game competition. And you talk about how the summer goes fast. The fastest time of year for me is the college football season. I mean, it just blows by, man. Before you know it, it's like you're halfway through, and then it's into November. And I think we're going to have a great college football season here locally. I think the teams are going to be decent. There's going to be storylines. And with Care being up at Weber, we're going to pay attention to that a little bit more.
It's like we talked yesterday. This is a football state, man. People love football in the state of Utah.
And that's exciting for me to see the advancements that these other programs have been able to make. You know, as I said, before I moved to the state, I knew about BYU because they're on television. And guys were winning awards and whatnot, and they're having big games. But to see Utah come around, and then I got to learn about Utah State and Bronco, having all these guys. I feel like I have relationships with Bronco, Care, Morgan, and Kalani.
Yeah?
Yeah. And, you know, I've been in this business for a long time, obviously, and I want them all to succeed. Every one of them, all four of them.
It's better. It's better when
it's great for business when they win. Yeah,
and I feel the same way. Like I love it when there's more good high school football team. Like the more good teams, the better.
Yeah,
it's the better. It's just better for everyone.
Yeah. Are you going to do high school football this year?
As far as like
some commentating.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be doing some with DJ.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
because I know he's jumping into that now that he's over here full time.
Yeah, I'm gonna be doing some of that, and then I think my gig with you guys has always been Wednesday mornings, so I think we're doing that again.
Yeah,
and then lots of fun talking about football all year.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for coming in.
Okay.
Appreciate it. All right. Coming up next, we got Scotty and the coach Tim Lacombe. Stay with us. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
At Arizona State University, we're bringing world-class education from our globally acclaimed faculty to you. Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Learn more at asuonline.asu.edu.